Hello everyone, welcome to the Drone Wars Season 1, Episode 20. So looking here in front of us, we can see the board as it currently is. Well, looking at it here, we can definitely see that the largest empire so far is most likely going to be the Pirate Empire over in the bottom right corner. They've got, they're kind of in 4 different quadrants right now. They've got one quadrant completely under their control, another quadrant is almost completely under control. Delta Shipyards over there, they're kind of in 3 different quadrants. They got one under their control. The Great Red Sun Empire over there, they're also in 3 different quadrants with one of them completely under their control. The Federation is in multiple different quadrants. They're in multiple quadrants, but none of them are completely under control. And the New Galactic Alliance, well, they only exist in 2 quadrants right now, and neither of them are under their control. So we're going to go down the list of the factions and see what they do today. Who knows? Maybe one of these factions might become a lot bigger, some of them might be smaller, and we're going to see what happens. Alright, we already have our first battle about to happen. So I'll go over what happened to the New Galactic Alliance here. So the Alliance, what they've decided to do is they've decided to build another fleet, basically using the remainder of their funds. They've essentially just made a carrier with an additional 2 fighters to support it, so I believe that fleet will have a total of 10 fighters. And they decided to move 2 fleets from the shipyard out a little bit in a bit of a defensive formation against the Federation. So they're really focused on the Federation basically expanding down and trying to take over their former territories. They're not too worried about the pirates right now, which is interesting, but that's that. Anyways, the Federation's turn. The first thing the Federation is doing is that the Federation is going to attack the Alliance. So they've decided to move one of their powerful fleets over from Titan all the way down to this Earth-like planet, all the way down to snowfields. So you can see here, the New Galactic Alliance is not ready for this battle. I mean, it's the very powerful fleet that's pretty much undefeated. 2 carriers, a battleship, versus just some corvettes and some fighters. So of course this mining world is probably going to be lost, but we're going to see what happens in that battle. Also, something else I will note, I did update all the ships that are being used in the drone wars, so you'll get to see some small changes in them from this point onwards. Alright, here we are. We're on the Earth-like planet. We're in the snow. We're going to go ahead and see this battle happen. So, as you can see here, we have the entire green fleet here. Now, as for the changes I've mentioned, pretty much small things have been changed to make it a little bit easier for me, but also easier for you guys. The larger ships actually have health bars now, so you can actually see how much health they have mid-battle. So that's going to be somewhat useful. And of course, lots of their weapons have also been edited, so that way they can be more useful in the battle. I basically fixed some settings with weapon cores, so that way these smaller weapons don't target missiles as much, specifically missiles, because for some reason the 220mm missiles were targeting each other rather than enemies. But that's been fixed. Here we have the other fleet, the New Galactic Alliance fleet, and we're going to see these 2 fleets clash and see if there's any losses on either side. I can already tell that the New Galactic Alliance here is completely outmatched, but we're going to see what happens anyways. Here we go. So immediately all these ships are going to charge into battle. The Dart probably has the best acceleration out of all the ships there, so it's going to go straight in as fast as it can. In the meantime over here, lots of these ships are just getting ready for battle. There's a lot of fighters starting to move in. You can see you're already starting to get into range. Point defense systems are starting to kick in here. I'll go and just press this so you can see the signals a bit easier. Alright, here we go. There's a lot of cannon fire being released out here. They're trying their best to dodge. And as you can see, this dart is actually getting within range of the other ship out there. It's going to do a lot of damage. So you can see he's not taking it too well, but he's trying to do as much damage as he can. Those missiles are going to start firing away and doing whatever they can. These changes to the missiles should make them a little more effective in battle and a little bit less laggy. They'll stop running around and they'll actually go towards ships. Well, these fighters are already starting to jump in, doing their damage. Got a lot of very powerful lasers already taking out these corvettes here. I don't see any signals from any of the Alliance ships, so it seems like the Alliance may have lost their entire fleet here already. If we're looking up here, it doesn't seem like any of the ships took any damage. We still have pretty much all the Federation ships here at 100% health. So the shields didn't even get taken down. You see the fighters are still just shooting at this debris as it's falling down. There's actually not even a ship left. Well, I guess that's it for this battle. It was pretty short. The Federation managed to take over this planet and regain some of their lost territory. Alright, here we are. We're back at the board, and well, as you can see, the New Galactic Alliance has been reduced down to only 4 planets, so they're definitely not doing very well, as the Federation is kind of just wrapping around them here, and the Pirate Empire is also going to be pressing up a bit, I guess. Anyways, over here, the Federation decided they're going to move one of their smallest fleets, just a single cruiser, over to the side a little bit. So I'm guessing they moved it over here to try to deal with the Great Red Sun Empire over here. They definitely want to defend this cluster of planets over here, so that they can keep their presence in the middle. And then their last action, they're going to send one of their fleets of just pure fighters, 10 fighters. They're going to move it over from Titan all the way down to Triton over here in the mountains. So it's basically going to be 10 fighters versus a single carrier. I don't know how it's going to go, but we're going to see what happens. Alright, we're in the Triton Mountains. This planet has been fought over so many times, I've actually lost count of how many times a battle has happened in this specific location, but we found an interesting location here in the mountains. To have this battle. Over here you can see we have 10 fighters, kind of this double V formation here, and over here we have the New Galactic Alliance with their carrier and its supportive fighters. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna declare war and see who wins this battle. I'm pretty sure the Federation is outmatched here, but their fighters can do quite a bit of damage, and there's a lot of them, so let's find out. Right off the bat, you can see a lot of these fighters are starting to move. Some of them not too much. These missiles are just kind of wrapping back around to completely annihilate one of those fighters. Or at least try to. See, all these fighters are now starting to fire. They're all starting to fire their missiles and get into range. There might be some dogfights happening here soon. Can already see that there's some combat between fighters going on here, and already the anti-fighter systems are going off on the Crusader carrier there. That's gonna do a lot of damage. These fighters need to be careful, or else that would happen. Seems one of them has collided, and the rest of them off in a distance are just kind of sitting there for now, but they should kick in pretty soon. This carrier here is still at 100% health. There's still a couple fighters over here just kind of sitting there. They're starting to fire their missiles on the enemies that get nearer. Their AI should activate soon, if at all. Seems like all the fighters over in that direction have been completely annihilated. So now the carrier is going to focus on the other fighters over there if it can. From the looks of it, seems like a lot of them are being completely annihilated by the missiles here. Oh, actually, maybe all of them have been taken down by missiles. Ouch. I teleport my character over here. Yeah, it seems like all these fighters have actually just been completely annihilated. Seems that the carrier has held its own pretty well against all those fighters. You can see over here is a handful of fighters just going after the debris on the ground. So yeah, the Alliance successfully held off against the Federation. We're going to go back to the board and see what the next faction does. Alright, so we finished with the Federation and their battles with the New Galactic Alliance. Now we're moving over to Delta Shipyards, which a couple of interesting things have happened. So Delta Shipyards, they've decided to build a new fleet all the way down here at their shipyard, and they've decided to send one of their fleets over from this alien planet all the way down to the pirates' homeworld, and for some reason the pirates left that undefended. So there was absolutely no retaliation whatsoever. The Delta Shipyards has successfully captured the pirates' homeworld, which is kind of a loss for the pirates, but also not really. The pirates have a really good amount of income, and they have other shipyards where they can build ships, so they're perfectly fine without their homeworld. But you know, it is a kind of a loss, so there's that. And then Delta Shipyards, they're going to use their final action to go ahead and attack the Great Red Sun Empire all the way up here. So they did build a fleet in the last episode over here on Pertam, and they're going to move that fleet up here into the Alien Mountains, which happens to be a fortress world. So we're going to see how well they do in that battle. If they can successfully take over that fortress world, then they're pretty much going to have almost this entire quadrant taken for themselves, which is going to be great because that pushes the Great Red Sun Empire up there and gives Delta Shipyards a big advantage against both the Federation and the Great Red Sun Empire up there. So we're going to see what happens there. Alright, we're on Alien with its high gravity, and we're over in the mountains here. So you can see this fortress is just up here, and it's kind of in a really high spot, which can be difficult to reach for some ships. All the way down here, we have, of course, Delta Shipyards that's going to attack this fortress. You can see their fleet here with their Cerberus. They got two different types of cruisers, and you got some corvettes around and fighters. Quite a fleet, but we're going to see how they do against this fortress here. So that fortress is all the way over there in the distance, and all these ships are going to start moving in. Hopefully they don't die immediately, that is, from friendly fire. So you can already see some of these ships are starting to move in. You can see his fighters are starting to kick into gear, and these corvettes are going as fast as they can. All these other ships are going to start moving in as well. You see lots of torpedoes are being fired from a distance, which is going to do quite a bit of damage to that fortress if its point defenses don't do something. You can see all the turrets over here are preparing for battle. And already there are shots being fired. These point defenses are doing whatever they can to take out those torpedoes, since those are probably one of the most dangerous things here. Already you can see some of these ships are starting to move in. They're taking shots. The high ground here is not great for those corvettes. One of them just slammed into the mountain there. Ouch. You can see some ships are trying to take the high ground over there, other ones are going a bit low. They're all trying to do as much damage as they can here, but these defenses are playing quite tight. And they are trying to take out those corvettes on that side there. And of course you can see they're also trying to take out fighters. Cruisers and the battleship appear to be moving in, so those are going to start dealing some damage as well. There's a lot of railgun shots coming in. You can see here these corvettes are doing everything that they can. That fighter over there has been shot down, so that's not great. A lot of shots coming in from that battleship. And they've all missed, but it is what it is. Now that cruiser has moved in, doing as much damage as it can. High gravity combined with the location is not good for any of these ships. But they're still trying to do their best here. You can see other corvettes are starting to join the battle. I don't hear any more shots coming from the base here, so I think this base is actually just completely defeated at this point. We'll go ahead and do a head count to see how many ships are left. So you can see the battleship is still alive. I believe both cruisers are still active. Yes, both cruisers are active. Let's see, that corvette over there is still alive, that one's still alive, so that's 2 corvettes alive. I believe the rest have fallen, and I don't see any fighter signals, so the fighters aren't alive either. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually let me take a look at these corvettes here that have fallen. No, this one's still alive, so there's 1, 2, and this one down here is also relatively fine, so we have 3 corvettes still alive. I'll go ahead and update the roster. Alright, we're back to the board, things are updated, and well, we've moved on to the pirates' turn. So the pirates, they've decided to do a few small things. For one, they decided to upgrade one of their shipyards to level 2, so that took a bunch of their money out of their budget. And then what they've decided to do is to play a bit smart. They noticed that the Delta shipyards are kind of just moving along down here, and they left one planet open over there, so they moved one of their fleets over to take over that undefended planet up there, which is pretty unfortunate. So, you know, they are moving past the main fleet here, but hopefully Delta shipyards will come for the counter for that. And then what the Pirate Empire decided to do with their final action is that they're actually going to try retaking their former homeworld, using one of their weaker fleets. Now over here, the homeworld is currently being occupied by a single Therion battleship, and they're going to be sending 2 frigates to go and try to take on that battleship. So we're going to go over to the moon craters, and we're going to see how that goes. Alright, well, here we are. We're on the moon craters. We have 2 frigates here. And these 2 frigates are going to be facing off against a single battleship right over here. So we're going to go ahead and declare war, and we're going to see who wins. I know that the battleship is more armed for close range combat, while those battleships are for medium range combat, so we're going to see how that fares. Although the frigates are not shielded, while this battleship is. We can see its health bar here. And actually for this battle, we're just going to turn our signals like that so we can actually see its health. There we go. So almost immediately, there's a lot of cannon shots moving in. Not the most accurate, but it is trying. Cannon shots are going to do a lot of damage. But the ship needs to hold on strong and just do as much damage as it can while it's close range. Hopefully its armor can actually hold out against those cannons. Those cannons are doing a lot. You can see all this rapid fire weaponry is just tearing into these other ships. When their armor is holding on as best it can, but they're just chewing through. Ship is trying to go underneath the way the main cannons of those frigates can't do much. He already seems to be close to half health, which is not great. It's not looking too good as those cannons are doing a number on him. They're already starting to fire into his engine bay as well, so he's lost some of his main thrusters. So those cannons are doing a lot of damage. It seems like the entire front of this frigate has just been torn off. Which definitely helps, because that means its armor has been greatly reduced. This battleship is really struggling. He's trying to do whatever evasive maneuvers he can to stay alive here. Yeah, at this point this ship has taken so much damage, I don't think it's even capable of functioning much anymore, if at all. There are entire chunks coming off of it now, and it's barely even functional. At this point, that battleship is just going to crash down to the ground. All these frigates just tear into it. Yeah, it seems like this ship is starting to fall down now. Despite being a wreck, it's surprisingly still trying to fight. These other frigates here are just doing whatever damage they can. Yeah, that battleship is basically lost. And these two frigates seem to be doing alright, so we're going to go back to the roster and just fix everything. And I'm going to go ahead and see what the next faction does. Alright, so with that battle concluded, well, Delta Shipyards has lost the pirate homeworld over there, and the pirates have retaken it, and they've turned it into a mining world, which produces even more money than the homeworld does, so, you know, more money. You just made the pirate empire even more powerful. So they are already even more powerful than they were before. Going all the way up here, the Great Red Sun Empire, what they've decided to do is that they've decided to move one of their fighter fleets down to kind of just defend from the incoming Delta Shipyards fleets. Unfortunately, I don't think fighters are going to do all that much against a fleet of that caliber. Over here, what they've decided to do with their second action is they've decided to move one of their fleets from their shipyard over here down to this planet here. They want to take out this Wanderer cruiser and maybe take out the Fortress world down in the Mars Valley. If they can successfully do that, then they'll take over this planet and they'll be able to protect their shipyard, which is really important because it's one of the only shipyards that, well, that they have. That if they lose that, they're going to have to travel quite far in order to get any of their fleets anywhere. So we're going to go ahead and see how this battle goes. It's just down in the Mars Valley. Alright, here we go. This is the second action of the Great Red Sun Empire. They're going to try to take over this planet. So you can see over there, there is a single cruiser. And, well, it's just this one corvette and a handful of fighters to take out that cruiser. Once they take out the cruiser, they got to take on a fortress after this. So we're going to see if they can successfully take that out. If anything, maybe they're just trying to stop the cruiser so that way they don't have to deal with being invaded. But we're going to declare war and see who wins this battle. I know for a fact that that cruiser is very dangerous, especially against all these fighters, so hopefully they have a plan. You can see those long-range missiles are very helpful for making sure that the kept off guard. So those railguns are going to do a lot of damage, so he needs to keep distracting them. You see all these fighters are also trying to move in. Well, that's going to hurt. Already we're starting to get some close range combat here. Already we can see that those fighters are going to try doing as much damage as they can. The cruiser is trying to use itself as a battering ram to take out these fighters. You can see these fighters are just surrounding him, distracting him as best they can. There are missiles being fired in all directions. When this cruiser is falling a bit, so it needs to get itself back up, or else it's going to take a lot of damage when it hits the ground. Yeah, I was doing a little bit of laundry. I was actually just waiting for the wash to finish so I could put it into the dryer. Okay, I'll be over in a little bit. Yeah. Yes. Okay, sorry, I forgot to change the sign. I was like, I forgot something, I don't remember what it was. Thank you. Well, it looks like both of these ships have collided with the ground, but they're still both active and trying to do whatever they can. Seems like that Corvette's going to be struggling, though. They hit the ground in a way that makes most of his thrusters not work anymore. Yeah, a lot of these fighters are very quickly being lost. It seems like that corvette's gonna no longer be functional in a little bit. He's still firing away trying to take out that cruiser. You can see the other fighters flying around are taking a lot of damage. That one is disintegrated. Yeah, it seems like the cruiser has won this battle. So yeah, that's about it for this battle. I'm gonna go ahead and update the roster, and yeah, it seems like the Federation has successfully held off the attack. Maybe the Great Red Sun Empire has another strategy or something they're thinking about, but so far this just didn't work. Alright, so that's that. The Great Red Sun Empire has just failed to take over that planet. And well, they've decided to focus more on defense and build another fleet over here that's pretty much identical. So they have some fleets they're protecting. Let's just take a look at the bigger picture here. Well, from what it looks like, the new Galactic Alliance is really struggling over there. They only have 4 planets, and they're not doing too well. The Federation, or the Galactic Federation, they're doing pretty well. They're able to actually wrap around the new Galactic Alliance, giving them a bit of an edge over there, so they are receiving pressure from multiple angles. But they are doing pretty well at defending themselves with what little territory they've got. They're pretty much going to expand a lot more in the next coming episodes, hopefully. Delta Shipyards over in the bottom left corner. Well, they've made some pretty good progress. However, their progress has been taken back by the Pirate Empire, so that's unfortunate. They have actually started making moves slowly going upwards towards the Great Red Sun Empire, so, you know, they're in a bit of trouble up there if they don't figure out how to stop that fleet. The Pirate Empire currently is the most powerful. I mean, they have a huge chunk of territory over there, and they seem to be rapidly expanding into their neighboring factions. And they're doing pretty well. I'm pretty sure they'll upgrade some of their fleets at some point. And who knows, maybe they might make enough income to actually make like a level 2 fortress or something, because we haven't seen any of those yet. Um, the Great Red Sun Empire over in the top left, they're actually not doing too well at the moment. Right now their income isn't really enough to actually give them a lot of larger ships, as most of their fleets are just one medium-sized ship and a bunch of fighters. They haven't really had the income to make multiple medium-sized ships. So they're just kind of up there trying to figure out how to defend themselves and slowly expand. Their strategy is no longer working because of the fact that, you know, the new Galactic Alliance is on the opposite side of the map, so now they have to deal with the Federation, which is a lot stronger in their defense. So their smaller ship strategy isn't working anymore. And well, Delta Shipyards kind of learned how to fight against the Great Red Sun Empire, so they are now starting to send larger fleets upwards. So they're going to have to figure out something in order to counter that. It is also worth noting that there's still one planet left that hasn't been explored, which is interesting. I know the factions are taking advantage of that. But, you know, hopefully one of the factions will go after that. I mean, it's at this point, it's either Delta Shipyards or the Great Red Sun Empire that'll go after it, but we'll find out in another episode. Something else I'm going to mention, I am working on Season 2 of the Drone Wars, and I'm actually inviting players to actually have their own fleets participate in the Drone Wars. We're going to be using a bigger board, we're kind of just changing up all the rules and everything, and we're going to make it just like one big RPG on the board, and it's going to happen every week. It will not start until Season 1 is done, but I will say that we have a Discord that is currently being set up. I'll put a link down in the description if you guys would like to join that and, you know, use your own fleets in these weekly battles. You can also see all the rules and stuff we have for the ships there. But yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed this episode. Hope you guys have a great day, and take care.